Right, so the 75-mile marker is going now. So in case anyone didn't notice, this is NFS Carbon. I will be trying to do a playthrough of this as well.
Start up.
So this is among the golden generation of Need for Speed games. Probably the last Need for Speed game that was a good one. I mean, Pro Street was good. Actually, Pro Street was great. Undercover was meh. And after that, the NFS games just went in a huge, steep decline. Many people say that the newer Hot Pursuit was a great game. I don't agree with that. And I'm going to have to talk over this because, YouTube doesn't really like it. If someone doesn't speak over completely copyrighted music. I'm sure this is a copyrighted song. But even if I get a strike, I'll let this video stay because I like this cutscene anyway. Plus, this kind of explains the story of what happened. Also, by the way, this is before the events of Most Wanted. Which is very weird because there are some. So obviously, all of these cars were already at the time of Most Wanted. But obviously, some of the cars in this game they are after Most Wanted. That. But none of the cars are in this scene, so yeah, it does make sense. This is before Most Wanted. Only this particular section is before Most Wanted. We will closely get to the section after Most Wanted after this.
Between the heat and the cruise, you need to walk away. Take my car. Go. Get out.
Right. So that was the end. So when we get out of there, we go to Rockport, and now we jump from Rockport to the Palmont Bridge, and now we are going to Palmont now. I think some time has passed because obviously, you know what? I'll just stop talking before the reveal. Right.
Guess who's back?
So obviously now some time has passed because Cross is now not a police officer, he is a bounty hunter now. So I guess that changes some time between here and Payback because in NFS Payback he's a police officer here. This is just, I need to change a few things. This would be a nice time to at least see my settings and all. Now graphic settings are already set. I'm not going to change those. Right. Now the first stupid thing that they did was they assigned X to Speed Breaker. If you played and Most Wanted on PC, X was assigned to NOS. So if you play this after playing Most Wanted, the first thing you do is hit this and go into a Speed Breaker because you're trying to use NOS in this. Activate, remember I just like to keep it at Q. Also, there are some few confusing things. For example, the button for looking back is always set at L. You cannot change that control. Even if I switch it to L, it won't switch it to Z. And the thing is, I always use that to look behind, and here the look behind button is assigned to the brake and reverse button. So even that was something that cost me some time initially when I played this game. Obviously, I know now. It's been a while since I played this game. It's been a long time since I played this game. Probably 10 years or so. Yeah, easy 10 years since I played this. I played Most Wanted a lot, but not Carbon. Even though if you listen to the sound in this, the car sound, this has the perfect M3 GTR sound. The transmission line and also the, what would you call it, sequential transmission? I don't know, straight cut gears, something like that. It's that. So it has that straight cut gear noise when you shift. So there's that. So this has the perfect M3 GTR sound. And we don't get to play with this car. It sucks so bad because after such a long while, we got this car in Most Wanted, and we lose it like in the first scene in Carbon.
Sit down. How you been? It's time to settle a little score from Rockport. You think?
So that's the Audi R8. It was a new car at that time. This is the Le Mans edition. Is it Le Mans? Le Mans, I don't know.
I don't
Le Mans.
remember asking
I'm just
for
gonna
your
call it
help,
Le Mans
Croc.
from now on. So,
What makes you think you can bounty hunt in Silverton without my approval?
right.
It's Cross. Now this guy's from out of town.
Oh, by the way, Cross
time,
actually does
kid.
make an appearance in Payback. Now, not in physical, we don't see
What's his
him.
bounty?
Kind of as an audio recording of sorts.
150K.
David.
Also,
Take care of
really,
this guy.
150K? I had more bounty than that in Rockport. Come on, man.
So, that's what you've been up to.
So clearly some time has passed after Most Wanted because for some reason he's not a police officer anymore.
Nikki,
Right.
it should be interesting.
I really hope this doesn't get me copyright strike. Because there's some background
Jerry,
music going
show
on.
your face here!
Whoa, hey.
Fool me!
Control yourself.
That Corvette really gives you the creeps.
I still don't know what happened that night you took off. But I do know you're into me now for some serious cash. Things have been getting a little too close for comfort around here with all these crews battling for new territory. I think I could use someone with your skills to help me out. The way I see things, I bailed you out of a serious jam twice now. Time for you to return the favor. Nikki, what do you say you show your old friend the ropes?
You gotta be joking, right?
You got a better idea?
Oh, in case you didn't know, Darius is the main villain of the game.
Let's get him started. Right away.
I mean, this game has been out since what, 2006? I'm not going to wait for spoilers in this. Everyone knows the plot by now. You either know or you don't know and you were just spoiled.
Not
So
again.
there's that. He is the end villain. You get to know that about halfway through the game. No, like almost 70% through the main story. Now, you remember how I said that we lose the M3 GTR and never get to play with it? Well, that's about to change.
Thanks for waiting up.
Yeah, sure, Nikki. Hey, who's the third wheel?
Doesn't matter. Darius made all these cars available to you. Pick one, whichever one you want.
Hey, if there's three, do I get one? I mean, I don't care which one, although I am partial to the one with the sweet rims.
Why don't you just make sure the tanks are filled?
That's great. I'm the monkey!
So actually his car depends
Pick
on
one.
whatever car
Let's
we
get
pick.
this over with.
There's that. Yes. Now, see, your car was total, but here it is. So we can just pick it. I'm obviously using a mod for this. So it's called a VLT editor. We can just press some settings in it and we can use the M3 GTR as a starter car. Now I'm tempted to not do that because we can also, you know what, I have the M3 GTR. I'm going to freaking use the M3 GTR. I know it's a little bit of a cheat move, I know. But it might actually make the game a little more fun, I guess. Now obviously this is fully upgraded, you cannot go any higher than this. I forgot how to have a perfect launch in this game. It's been a while. Now obviously this is in miles per hour, I will switch it to kilometers per hour when I can. So obviously these are classic games, right? So there are some touches in this game that really makes it stand out. The small things, little things. The physics in this game obviously is not a little thing and it's really good. Yeah, obviously the collision is not that great, I mean nothing really slows you down except for the traffic cars. But even then, like even hitting something, it kind of feels like you're hitting something and it kind of penalizes you for that a little bit. Even when if you use pursuit breakers, it will slow you down quite a bit. This really starting to feel unfair. So I know what I will do. Basically I think yes, I'll use this car, but I'll not use this car until I am allowed to use the third level of cleaners.
Now, come on, I got no time for this.
So right now, obviously, I'm using this.
Nikki's good. Just listen to her. And I'll stick around and I'll help out. Make sure she's not too hard on you.
So since we have a tier 3 car, Neville is also going to get a tier 3 car.
Okay, come on, let's just get this over with.
Also, the thing that you saw on the top left of the corner of the screen, so this was something that was done in Carbon also. Like, this was really new at the time. Essentially, they face scanned all these actors into the game. And they scanned their performances and recorded their reactions and all that. And it plays whenever there's a key moment in a race. It even happens in the boss races. So as for what mods I am using, I literally just went off a video on YouTube. I'll try to link that video as well. So essentially this is just a 4K texture pack along with a reshade. I just linked that video and hopefully they'll explain it better than me. It's not that hard, to be honest. It's really easy. All the tools are in there already. You don't need to do much. Now see, when I press L, it just slows down. But the actual camera, look back camera is gone now. I was tempted to play this with a controller, but my controller is kind of weirding out on me right now, so that's why I didn't. I have never actually played a racing game with a controller, not even the simulation racing game. You know how hard it is? It is literally the worst thing to play these sim racers on your... So now, yeah, if you are not seeing these blue lines come out, that's because I have deactivated particles as well. I don't personally like the particle effects. I feel like it kind of interferes with your racing. And also when you jump, there are this really ugly air particle effects I don't like. Yeah. So since I don't like any of these effects, I just let them be. Where is Nikki? I thought she was supposed to be scouting. Wait, why is it restarted? God damn it. She stopped, that was not my fault. I mean, I'm probably breaking the game a bit because it has been paced for a really slow car. This entire circuit is paced for a really slow car. And I'm using an M6 GTR. So I think that's cheating already. So I'll just try to keep pace here. I'm not going to accelerate much. Right, so now I activate the blocker skill. So there are three types of wingmen in this: blockers, drafters and scouts. I personally prefer the scouts because even if you don't win, usually they win. Because they are literally programmed to find the shortest path. So now I draft behind her, and when we deactivate we just accelerate out. So like I deactivated, now look at this. It's really fun. So obviously, yeah, drafters are really good in this game, but I still prefer the scouts because they can just go around shortcuts like no other AI can. And even if you don't follow them, they usually end up winning the races anyway, unless it's speed race, then you have the advantage of it. Now what I will do is, I'll keep this car in the garage until and unless I reach the point in the game where I can use the tier 3 vehicles. now we are done. This race will be over soon. So it just ends. Yeah, it just ends. Obviously, doing this with an M3 GTR just feels really special.
There.
And we
That's all you need to
got
get
to drive
started.
the M3 GTR for like
My
what,
time on you.
10-20
Later,
seconds of the game,
Well,
and then it
guess
just
it's
switches
just you
to
and
the
me.
normal car. That
Go find
sucks
some trouble.
because even in Most Wanted we got to drive the car for a long time, and obviously in the end game. So obviously we all drove it a long time. I drove it a long time personally, so I
You're in
don't.
Rockport, huh? Man, a lot has changed since you
And it
took
just
off.
sucks
There are
because
tons of
you know you will
cruisers
never
down
be able to drive this
everywhere,
car.
man. Crazy.
The M3 GTR literally cannot be driven. There are a few road versions with the same engine, the P60B40, but even those are detuned. These are not like the proper race engines. They have like 390 horsepower as compared to the 500 that the normal M3 GTR can pull up. And even then, even with that, that's not the one with the proper body kits and stuff.
I got your back. I'll lose the heat. Stay on the pedal.
So now, obviously, I will never be able to drive it, so this is just a fantasy I can't fulfill.
Attention Patrol Division.
But I do love this
Units
car a
engaged
lot.
high-speed pursuit of a single vehicle
This is my
that
dream
evading
car,
custody. Handle this call on channel 2.
I mean, even an M3, a base M346 is a really good car. It has an inline 6. That's a good engine. And many people are partial towards the V-shaped engines, but I don't really care. I mean, for example, I drive a inline 3 engine with a 67 horsepower engine. Yeah. So once you drive that, you don't really care about, you know, what kind of an engine your sports car has. Drive inline 6, inline 3, inline 6. If I had driven an inline 6, I would have loved it. Even my dad got to drive a better car than I did. But even that's my dad's car, not mine.
I need units ahead of the pursuit to set up a roadblock.
10-10, Charlie 21. 5-1 advised, hold off on your request. Big standby.
Now I already know where to go, so I'm just going to follow that route.
Units on the pursuit
Hopefully
call.
they don't
Suspect
intercept
with
me
last
here.
lead southbound. You have a green light to go ahead and set up a containment.
So of course Neville will appear here, like literally just here.
Yeah, this is 2-4, Bravo 6-8. We've had reports of a 10-5-0 in the quadrant. Can we have...
See?
We need to meet up. I've given you coordinates to a safe house.
So he has a Lambo in this, but in the cutscene he switches back to the Brera because that's what is supposed to be here. So that's supposed to be our exotic car that we started off with, but we started with the BMW. So he has the freaking Lambo.
Darius gave you the safe house. You can use it to fix your car, or chill out when the heat's on. You need a wingman, and it looks like I'm it. Let me show you inside.
So Neville is our first wingman. He's a blocker type. We also get a guy named Sal, who is a scout. That's the one I will actually use. He's here for now, but that's the one I'm going to use. So we can even set colors, right? So there, this is, oh, let me pull my mouse. Yeah, black with red looks nice. Then you can do. So obviously this had a really good concept on paper, but they didn't go deep enough with it to the point where we can actually, you know, do something about the cruise. And obviously concept like that would be really appreciated now, but we don't have it now because I guess Ghost are too lazy to do it, and now even Criterion. I'm pretty sure Criterion are going to screw it up somehow. I'm pretty sure about it. Actually, why aren't we going blue and silver? Because that's the BMW way to do it, I guess. Silver. And I need a blue. This blue should do. Actually, this is a good enough logo. You know what? I'll just keep it. Accept. Yes, I want to save this. I'll use my own name for this. This was my gang name when back in the day I played Carbon, like 10 years ago.
This whole city's a battleground. All the crews are always fighting over territories.
So Carbon is
Just
one of
check
the
with your map if
first
you wanna see
games that I
what's going on.
played,
The minor
like
crews
even
push
before I
forward,
started
but you'll
properly
see that
playing
most
games.
of Palmon City is divided up between
And
Kansas
the
Bushido,
hype was off the roof
Wolf's
for this game for me
TFK, and
because
Angie's 24/7.
I obviously played it way after launch,
Your rep?
but
Okay, you have no rep.
I played
But
Most
you win a
Wanted,
few races and you'll end
and
up owning an area.
this was a sequel
That's
to the
what'll
Most
build up
Wanted,
your
and
rep.
it took me
Once
such
the
a
crew
long while
bosses
to
see
even
you as a
find
threat,
this because
they'll probably come
back in
looking
that
for you.
time gaming in
If they
India wasn't
challenge
a
you,
huge thing.
then you got a shot
Even
at
now
taking
it's not
over
a
your
huge
turf.
thing. But still, at least we have tournaments and stuff nowadays. I mean, it was something, but you know, it wasn't really that big. Wait, do we have a garage yet, or do we have to go to our first race? Okay, we have to do a race first, so we can't just buy a car now. I'll do this. Hopefully the AI scale with us. If the AI scale with us, I'm going to use the M3 GTR. I'm not going to bother. If the AI doesn't scale, nah, it doesn't look like they scale with us. And right now we have two of the best cars in the game. I think the Murcielago was the best. No, the Zonda was the best. Not sure. Yeah, we are definitely outpacing them. You know what? As a challenge, I'm not going to use NOS in this race. Do this. I should probably use manual transmission. This is a huge advantage. This car is like cheating. Oh no, obviously this car was made to be an endgame car, but somehow this doesn't even show up in the endgame. Even if you unlock it with reward cars, you can only ever use it in quick racing. There is no way to use this car in career mode without some kind of a hack or a mod. Obviously I'm using one. Or rather I have modified some files using a tool to achieve this. Yeah, playing the game with this car, early game especially, is going to suck. Because, you know, there's no one anywhere near us. Now I just hope that this hasn't broken the game in like our crew member doesn't bring a Lambo when we bring the slower car. I don't know how that works. This would be a good way to find out, I guess. If it does, I'll just play this part on my own and I'll just skip to the part where Tier 3 races actually matter. I'll just show the key moments in... Oh, I could have taken my shortcut. See, if you have a scout, your scout actually goes ahead and shows you the shortcut. Obviously, it's been a while since I've played here, so I don't quite remember Paramount in the same way. I remember Rockport because Rockport you can literally drop me anywhere in that map and I can make it to any place. I don't care. So I have this, right? I can slow him down. So in order to slow down, if you have a blocker, you can make sure that you always win the race and not your crew member. And the way you do that is, if you are approaching the finishing line, press the Q button. And he will fall back to block someone. Now obviously he's going to cross the line as well. Because he couldn't slow down enough in time. But you still win because he will slow down. Oh shoot. I forgot to... yeah, this is going to give me some copyright strikes anyway. This is a copyrighted song, pretty sure of it.
So, how long did it take you to spend all that money you took from me?
Right, I'm going to talk over this because, you know, for obvious reasons. Oh. You know what, why am I even fighting this? This video is going to get like so many ads. No, it's not going to get so many ads. It's a 30-minute long video, so like 3 ads. Yeah, I'm screwed because all these cutscenes start playing every single time. That sucks. Alright, now we are obviously in free one, and I'm going to... I completely forgot to, you know, mute the tracks, not video, audio. In case that, you know, stuck for a while, it's because I'm using reshade and it kind of compiles everything every single time. Right. Finally. Alright, this is definitely getting copyright claim. I can't help it. And YouTube's content ID doesn't even recognize that this is something that is playing inside the freaking game. I have no control over this. This is literally something that plays in the game. There is nothing I can do about it. But yeah, fine. YouTube's bots are pretty stupid. I'm just going to show some gameplay with the NVIDIA. Hopefully. Oh, I still can't access it. I think I need to get a zone first. You know what? Screw it. I'll get a zone first. I'll do this. I'll get a new car in the next episode because obviously this is a bit unfair. And if it doesn't work out, I'll play up to this point and I'll start the episode 2 with a different car and I'll buy the M3 later on in the career mode because I also made it an option for me. So it gets unlocked. Wait, oh shit, I forgot. I'm not going to use NOS for this. But even without NOS, this car is really fast. It is going to have absolutely no problems with it. We have 40 seconds left, we are already at the checkpoint. So obviously in this game the physics are slightly better than Most Wanted. But also here the car drifts a bit, especially if I had picked a lower end car. The Camaro, I have used the Camaro a lot. And it really likes to drift. And you just put this here, you hold the brake and push the accelerator and it will drift slightly. Obviously it doesn't go into a full on drift like the Criterion game, but it has a significant amount of drift to it. But even in this game, in Carbon, even in the drift events, you had to control your car. It's not that easy as it was in the more modern Need for Speed games. I'm talking like the new Most Wanted or even the NFS 2015 game. Or even NFS Heat. Because in NFS Heat, even now with the whole clutch kit double clutch. So essentially you just press the accelerator twice and it starts drifting. Even with that, it's too easy. I like the drifting to have a little more challenge. So if I suck at drifting, I actually want to get good at it. That's something I did in Shift, because in Shift drifting was very difficult for me, especially with the keyboard, because I was playing with the keyboard. So I had to, kind of be very careful on when I was pressing the throttle, how long I was pressing the throttle, and overall it was just like that balance I needed to drift properly. And even then I wasn't very good at drifting. It was just enough to do the campaign missions. I was never like excellent at drifting. In Forza I was better. In Forza Horizon 4 I am obviously better at drifting than I was in NFS Shift. Yeah. But even as an arcade game, this one had much better drifting physics than any of the modern Need for Speed. And that I consider that to be an achievement. Because this game came out in 2006. We are in 2020. Things are supposed to improve, not go back. And somehow this has more realistic driving than the modern NFS game, which doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Everyone was praising NFS Heat, including me. Even I praised NFS Heat because the driving physics was much improved, much better. It was actually very close to having a good driving physics. We finally had an option to have a proper grip racing car. But even with that, there are many shortcomings of the Frostbite engine, I feel, which is holding that game back. Like seriously, if you play NFS, you know what I'm talking about. There are clipping engines in the game, which just launches your car right into the air. There is this one particular section in NFS Heat where you have to drive on a racetrack, and it is so impossible because your car can clip at any moment and just fly off the track. It is very difficult. Even with a 499 car, it depends so much on luck than skill per se. In these games, skills was more important than NFS Heat. I would say that. Not to say that NFS Heat is a bad game. It is the best NFS game of this decade. In a decade, at the very least. Like, yeah, from 2010, yeah, it is the best game. some people say that Hot Pursuit is a good game, but yeah, while I agree it's a good game, it's definitely not the best. It didn't have customization, it didn't have proper handling models, it didn't have basically anything that makes a racing game a good racing game. Right, so we got our first territory. Hopefully we can get. So obviously I'll add some money using cheats, and I'll do that in the next episode while not being recorded.
Patrol East, be advised. We're receiving numerous reports of a 1050
Jump to a
suspect
car lot.
northbound.
Yeah, we only have access to the tier 1 cars. We have 25,000 in cash. We can buy the RX-8. Now obviously if we had started with this is a $40,000 car. I'm assuming these are dollars because it's set in America. No, this is a 25. I can only buy the RX-8. Now obviously I am driving a muscle car right now. So I'm driving an exotic right now, so I need to get an exotic. This is a good shout. It's not that overpowered per se. It is slightly more acceleration and top speed but lesser handling than the one we should have picked. I always go for the exotics, I like the exotics. So there's this Chrysler. So obviously there are 2 muscles, 2 tuners and 2 exotics. I don't know why so obviously it's a Mazda, obviously it's a tuner. So I'll probably go for this because yeah, if we are driving in the exotic territory, we need this. We don't have money enough for this, so we'll just go back to free roam and just know this is the car we are going to get in the next episode. So just to keep it fair, right now I just jump back to the safe house. How much cash do we have? Wait, we have 25.4. Yeah, obviously. Why did I have to go? Oh my god, I'm dumb. I'm so dumb. Yeah, so we have 25,000 in cash. So I'm going to make sure that we have like 10,000 after we buy that cars, just to balance it out a bit, because we are not going to use the M3 for this. Right, so I'll just end this. Hopefully you guys like watching it. I mean, it is a nostalgic game. I certainly like playing it. I will put videos up for this game because just like Black Flag, I don't care if no one's watching this. I just like this game a lot. Alright, anyway, I'll just cut it short here. I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode.